Welcome back to the Frugal Gardener's Garden. I guess you can still call this a garden even though it's indoors. This is going to be the last of my indoor videos for a while. The weather outside is improving dramatically, so we'll get back to our regular gardening. It is officially spring, and there's a lot going on, and there's a lot that I'm going to be planting this year. So hope you guys stick with me. This video is another request, a special request from a subscriber who wanted more information about how to set up their hydroponics. This is the heart of my hydroponic system here. These are three of the Danner pumps. These are the only pumps that I use, and I'll get into the reason why. No, I'm not sponsored by them. I mean, I'm open for a sponsorship, but right now I'm use these because I like them, because they are helpful, and because they get the job done. So, first things first, in order to set this system up, you're going to need tubing. This is a piece that I have left over. I brought, this was, 25 feet. It comes in different sizes, different lengths, I should say. And you can pick this up from pretty much any aquarium, any pet store. I get mine from Amazon. This tubing can go from 6 feet all the way up to 82 feet. You have to cut it to size. And this is where it gets interesting, because people make the mistake of having their system set up. Mine is on the ground. My plants are pretty much almost everything I grow is on the ground. But if you want to raise your plants off the ground, then your pump is going to have to work harder. So my suggestion is that you don't have your plants, your hydroponics, whatever it is you're working with, more than 3 or 4 feet off the ground, because the pump has to work harder. It has to pump up to get those air bubbles into your container. The other thing is length. I try to keep my length between 4 and 6 feet. Like I said, you get your cord. This is what I have left, but I try not to go further than 6 feet. So I'll do between 4 and 6 feet. And that's, again, it's up to the individual. The next thing you're going to need are these air stones. I buy these by the pack because I use quite a few of them. I don't know if you can buy these individually or not, but those air stones are $3.98. I think this is a pack of 12. This is how they come. So basically, you're going to cut your tubing to length, and you're going to add your air stone to your tubing. But be careful. Make sure that you put the air stone in after you pass it through the hole. This needs to be cleaned, but this is the top from one of my plants over here. I took it apart deliberately to show you. You punch a hole in there. You can sometimes I use a hot screwdriver. You could use a knife. Any kind of way that you can get a hole. You don't need a huge hole. Put the hole, you put the tubing through first, because if you don't, you're going to have a problem. And you can stick this on to here. You don't need any kind of glue, any kind of adhesive. It'll just slip right on, no problem. So now you have the tubing and you have the pump, and you have the stone. So in the event that you have several plants and you don't want to buy a bunch of pumps, you can get this doohickey here. And what that basically does is allow you to add multiple plants to one pump. Problem with that is if you put too many plants and too many air stoves, you're going to weaken the amount of power that you get. You're going to deplete it, and you're not going to get the desired result. So this is another reason why I use these pumps here, because they're pretty powerful, and the versatility is the main reason. As you can see, you can put 2 lines on each one of these, and they do have pumps where you can put 4 on one line. The best part, the main reason why I use these pumps is because they are adjustable. These dials here, you can turn them up during the day, and maybe at night, if you're in the same room or near where these pumps are, you can turn them down. You can hear they're not that loud, but that's the versatility. The fact that you can turn these up, you can turn them down, the fact that you can add more than one tube per pump is a lot of things. It's an advantage that a lot of the cheaper pumps don't have. A lot of people will go out and they'll spend 10 or 15 bucks and they'll buy the cheapest pump they can find. It'll work, but that's not going to get you the results you want to get. And on top of that, I don't know how long they're going to last. I've had these pumps. The oldest pump I've had is probably about 7 or 8 years. The 4-outlet pump, I just looked these prices up before I made this video, is $33.47. The one that I just showed you is 3.5 watts, and it's $26.46. So if you're just starting out and you get the $26 pump, well, whatever it is plus tax, and you get tubing and you get the air stone, you're pretty much set, because the containers that I encourage you guys to use are from around your house. The containers are what you already have. So the only other thing you're going to need is the nutrients that's going to go into the container. So the things to remember is make sure you don't have your plants too high up off the ground. Make sure that your tubing is not super long, because if the tubing is long, again, your pump is going to be less effective. And remember to buy a pump. If you don't get this brand, whatever brand you get, make sure you get a pump that is going to be powerful enough to give you the oxygen that you're going to need to get your plants to grow properly. So that's all there's to it. It's really not that complicated, but I am grateful for the question. We're going to move outside into our spring and summer gardening. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm the Frugal Gardener. Thanks for watching. And as always, when you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. Catch you guys in a few days with a new video. Have a good one.